Video 2 introducing Derek Walcott. Hi again. Derek Walcott was born in 1930 in St. Lucia, a small island state in the Pacific, then still under the control of England. St. Lucia is part of the Caribbean, a big island chain east of the Americas. When Columbus discovered America, he actually reached the Caribbean, which he named the West Indies. Many European countries had their hands in this region, but St. Lucia was first under French control and then under English control, British control. The original population of the Caribbean was mostly wiped out by European violence and disease. The colonies there were often plantations that were meant to grow things like sugar cane. Think of Jamaican rum, which is made out of sugar that was grown in the Caribbean. So by and large, there wasn't a big European immigration to the Caribbean, but there were few colonizers who ran the plantation. And in order to have workers there, they imported African slaves. So today, many of the people living in the Caribbeans like Jamaica, Haiti, and indeed St. Lucia, most of this population is of African origin, but they speak European languages, Spanish, English, French, or their version of those languages. These are hybrid languages made of different European languages, some Native American languages, and words from African origins, and they are often called patois. If you listen to reggae music, you can hear the Jamaican version of English. Walcott's father died when he was young, but his mother raised him. But his mother raised him and his siblings at the same time as she was a principal of a school in St. Lucia. Walcott started writing as a teenager and became well known for his poetry and playwriting. In fact, his first book was self-published using a loan from his mother. He received the Nobel Prize for Literature, and he was the first and till this day, the only person from the Caribbean to win this prize. He was only the second person of African origins to win this prize. The committee cited a poetic oeuvre, a body of work of great luminosity, of great light, sustained by a historical vision, the outcome of a multicultural commitment. They are suggesting that part of their admiration for his work, part of the reason they gave him the most prestigious prize a literary person can receive, is due to his mixed or hybrid heritage, identity. They call it multicultural. Walcott is a descendant of both African and European people. He had two white grandfathers and two black grandmothers. He knew the history and literature of the West better than most Europeans, while never turning his back to the cultures of the Caribbean and further back Africa. He also spent much of his time living in the United States and not in St. Lucia and other areas of the Caribbean. His education, heritage, and reputation are all multicultural, hybrid, and international. He wrote of himself, I am a kind of split writer, like split in two. I have one tradition inside me going one way, maybe the European tradition, the English tradition, and another going another, the African tradition, the Caribbean tradition. Now, please take the time to read A Far Cry from Africa on your own. Perhaps listen to Walcott read it himself. I'll add the link, of course. Ask yourself where and if ambivalence and hybridity are expressed in this poem. Where can you find it? Where does it talk about it? Where does Walcott's history that I presented now come into play in the poem itself. In the next video, I will offer a reading of the poem.